Hi, I'm Lucy, and recently I posted a video about stranger danger, and I was really interested to read all the comments that people left. So this video is about the most unsafe place in Taiwan, the road. I think a lot of foreigners in Taiwan really love the Taiwanese people and their lifestyles here, but the conversation of driving habits comes up really often, and I think everyone feels the same confusion because Taiwanese people are so lovely and kind and generous and welcoming, and then they get in a car. Suddenly these uncles who have just been really sweet would run you and your stroller down. All these guys with their pimped up cars that are intimidating people, that are revving their engines and speeding along streets that are full of pedestrians. What are you thinking? In my country, we say you've got a small DD. That's what we think. If somebody zooms by with their music blaring and their lights flashing, thinking they're the bee's knees. When you see boy racers, do you just think that they're compensating for something? Is that a thing in Taiwan? They're trying to attract you with their bird call because there's nothing else there to attract you with. I learned to drive originally in England, and it took me a very long time to pass my test, longer than the average person, because I wasn't very confident on the road. And then I came to Taiwan. My husband made me retake the test I had to learn. I had to learn to pass the test. I didn't learn to drive in Taiwan because at the time you only had to do the obstacle course. See the rock, one turn right. See the tree, one turn left. Touch the yellow line, game over. And I got my license and I was allowed on the roads, and I just thought, oh my goodness. Even after taking the test, I think I drove once or twice and it was petrifying. And then I didn't drive again for another 4 years because I just didn't feel safe until I had children. So finally, after 4 years, I sucked it up and started to drive a car. But it doesn't mean that I feel safe in a car. I really don't. Sometimes I will make the mistake of getting in the wrong lane, and I'll be like, oh, okay, I need to put my indicator on, I need to go in that lane. And nobody in that lane really wants to let me in that lane. And I could never understand why. I'd be like, oh, but I made an honest mistake. I couldn't read the characters on the floor because other cars were on top of them. And I've just realized I needed to be in the left lane. Nobody's going to let me in the left lane, or at least most people are not going to. And then I realized how many people were in the left lane at the back that then get in the right lane just so that they can cut it back into the left lane further along. Oh my goodness, you just cut out about 5 cars? That was it? Was it worth inconveniencing everybody? And then the people that genuinely make a mistake are not trusted because there's people that are really that inconsiderate? Tell me if you've experienced it. You're on the freeway, you're driving at a reasonable speed, you're in the correct lane, you don't want to go in the fast lane because you're not fast, you don't want to go in the slow lane because you're not exiting, so you're happy where you are. Somebody comes right up behind you and they start flashing their lights at you. Flashing you, flashing you, flashing you, getting closer and closer and just trying to intimidate you. Tell me if you've experienced it, because I experience it all the time and I don't know what these cars want me to do. There's cars zooming past me on the fast lane, so I can't go there. I'm in the correct lane. I can't go faster. There are cars in front of me. and I just don't have the magical powers to disappear. I have 2 children in the back. So you intimidating me is just making me feel unsafe. The chances of an accident are just getting higher and higher. What are these people trying to accomplish? Where do they want me to go exactly? It happens all the time. People zoom past you. They zoom past you, overtake you, cut in. There's a red light in 2 seconds. You're 1 car ahead. Congratulations. When I brought my husband to England, he was really confused because the traffic is so different. If there's a slip road, if 1 car goes, you let somebody slip in. 1 car goes, you let somebody slip in. And everybody just follows this same rule, and then it's slow, but everyone's moving. And if you get to a crossroad, you give way to the right. Easy as that. If there's somebody on everybody's right, then I remember my husband being like, just go. But I'm like, oh no, because he can go. You go, that's okay, you go. And he's going to the next person. Oh, no, you go, that's fine. No one wants to be the first person to go because it just feels very rude to be like, oh, okay, I'll go. My husband's like, we could stay here all day, all of you just being too polite. All be staying here very politely, and that's fine with us. One of the biggest differences about the traffic laws in Taiwan is the green man. We teach our children that when you see the green man, it's safe to cross, because nobody would drive through a crossing that had a green man. Nobody. I couldn't even imagine it. But in Taiwan, the green man does not mean it's safe to cross. The green man is probably one of the most dangerous times to cross the road because people are coming around the corner where they can't even see you stepping into the road. This one really baffles me. I get that in Taiwan, the green man means you cross the road with caution. But cars coming around the corner, they're given a green arrow to say that they can turn. And so they're not coming around the corner with caution. And they're moving much faster than a pedestrian. So as a driver, sometimes I find it very confusing because I'm like, oh, I've got a green light, I can go. And suddenly I'm like, whoa, there's somebody crossing the road. That's really scary. I'm so glad I didn't kill them. And as a pedestrian, I'm crossing the road like, oh, nothing's coming. I'm good. I get halfway across the road and I'm like, I'm nearly killed. Is it just to move traffic a bit faster? Is Taiwan that overpopulated that you don't mind losing a couple of people? I feel like there should be clearer indications of when it is safe to cross the road. Don't jaywalk, use the crossing, and when you use the crossing, it should be a safe place to cross. Simple as that. I feel like all my friends have different stories, and I'm sure there are a lot of foreigners with stories to tell or opinions to give. But actually, I'm really interested to hear from the Taiwanese community. I'd really love to know what you think. Tell me about your traffic experiences in Taiwan. So I also have some other videos with my son where we are teaching some English words and phrases and a little about the news at present time. You're welcome to go back and watch some of those. Feel free to click like, share with your friends, and subscribe. We do try to read and reply to everybody's comments, so be kind. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye!